everybody, welcome back to the 74 Challenger Restoration Project. Alright, so goal for this episode is to get this floor pan replaced. I've got some new ones over there, some new AMD panels. Goal is to get all these old ones out and get the new ones in. So, first thing I need to do is drill out all these spot welds here that are holding the old pan into place. I've got my spot weld drilling tool on there. I've just started here. I have a lot of spot welds to get out. Alright, so these are the spot weld cutters I've been using by a company called Blair. And this is the replacement 3-pack. So the first one you're going to buy is a kit that comes with the cutting end and a cutter, and then you can just keep buying the cutting ends as they wear down. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything, so you know, take it as you will. I've been through a couple different brands and I found these ones seem to work the best. So it's something I'd pass along to you guys. Alright, well, I'm just going to get out of here. I've got a lot of holes to, or a lot of spot welds to drill. And once I get everything out, I'm going to sandblast the frame rails. If you can remember from many episodes back, I spent some time trying to get in there and clean the frame rails. So once I get this pan out, I'm going to finish that job. We're going to blast the rails. We're going to blast the sills if need be. We're going to coat everything. Alright, let's do this. Finished getting that big chunk out. I'm not finished yet. I still have this center hump to take out and then some work up in the corner there, but the bulk of it's out. So this side's a little bit worse compared to the other side. There's some pretty serious rust here. Might not be able to tell, but you can actually see cracks. So as I hit that with the hammer, it just popped right through. So there's some sections in here that I'm going to need to cut out and put some new metal in. I ended up using my my cutoff saw, or my grinder I suppose, and my air chisel to get most of this out. Previous owner, or some point in this car's life, had installed just a piece of galvanized sheet metal over here and then tarred and bondoed it all up in the corner here. So I couldn't locate any of the spot welds, so this thing just got hacked out and it's a big mess. So this section here, a lot of this will need to be rebuilt. This section here is actually very rusty. You can see down in there. That's rotted bad. There's some rot down in here. I'll have to take a look at that, add a patch in there. So yeah, this side's a bit worse. Up in this area, I still need to finish getting the rest of the pan out. It's all a bunch of little patches all scabbed on up here. So it's just been like tarred and bondoed and all kinds of nasty. So alright, spent a good, geez, I must have spent a good hour or so trying to get this corner cleaned up here, just so I can see what was underneath all that tar and bondo. So this is what I'm dealing with. You can see there's a whole bunch of patches that have just kind of been scabbed over onto the firewall and then filled up with, I'm assuming it's bondo, and a lot of it was tar. Up top here where that air vent is, and it's pretty rotten up in there. And then that's pretty rotten too. So the top part of that firewall is really bad. I'm really debating what to do about this. Like, the rest of it is, like, good chunks of the firewall are still good, but these corners are just absolutely terrible, especially this one. Alright, and then I'll show you outside here. Lots of patches have been scabbed into this area. Same goes with up top here. Top part of this, I believe this is called the cowl up top. Yeah, it's just a big mess. And then cleaned up in here. Again, it's just nothing but these terrible patches and filled with bondo and tar. So this corner is going to take a lot of work to get fully cleaned up. Needs a lot of work. Alright, let me show you what I have now. I just finished taking out the last sections of the floor pan. Got the hump out from in the middle here. And I spent some time cleaning this corner up, which was the absolute worst. So, yeah, so that's what it is. I got some of the chunks of the firewall cut out. The pieces that are going to kind of meet up to the floor pan. The top section up here, that still needs a lot of work, but I'm going to tackle that once I have the floor pan in. And same goes with up there and that air vent. That needs a lot of work. The other side wasn't too bad. Needs some work down in the corner there. I took that chunk of the firewall out that was rotten. The whole sill on this side is in really good shape. I don't think I'm going to need to put any patches or work that at all. Just clean it up. And this side of the sill, I need to put a patch. I need to rebuild this whole section through here. And then there's a small, just a small little area in here that needs to be rebuilt. Back section looks really good. I don't think I'll need to touch that. I've already repaired a lot of that quite a while ago. A little spot in here, I'm gonna have to get that chunk out from behind this big cross member here, put a new piece in. This area, well, the front looks okay, but that's gonna be a little bit tricky, kind of sliding a patch panel behind there. But we'll get her done. This whole section in here, previous owner has like scabbed this whole area up. So that's another area I'll need to spend time on after I do the floor pan. inside here, this is going to be a bit of a mess too. Sorry for the flickering lights, folks. These when I turn the LED lights down, they flicker like that. And then the sill in here, kind of hard to see, but that whole area will need some work. But for now, focus is getting the floor pan in. So I need to repair this section first, and then I'll want to I'm gonna sandblast some of this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna start making some patches here. Alright folks, it's sandblasting time. Alright, sandblasting is done. That job was a pain in the butt. Things kept freezing up on me. Ugh, because it's so cold out. Anyway, it's blasted. I'm gonna throw some paint sealant on there, or some rust encapsulator, I mean, and get it prepped. A couple little things I need to take care of, but I've got to finish that. I ran out of welding gas, so I couldn't finish that corner. But anyway, I'm gonna get the bulk of this painted and sealed up. Now there's no real big surprises in any of this, so that was good. It's a very dirty, dusty job. Wow, that hole ended up a little bit bigger, but I'll patch that up from the outside. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next time around I do sandblasting, I'm gonna rent a large industrial size blaster, because the 2 units I have really couldn't keep up with the demands of sandblasting, but yeah, things cleaned up good. Alright, we'll paint this up and then let's throw the floor pan in. Okay, this is the really fun part. Trying to get this thing fitted in properly and getting all the gaps closed up. So, I got everything I need here. Got my hammer. We're just gonna go at her until it fits. I think I'm gonna start in the center and work my way out. So I've got some self-tapping screws like I've done before. And I'm just gonna secure everything in place. Yeah. Alright, so here's where I'm at. Front section is in. That went pretty good. I had some fitment issues right around this hump here. I had a really hard time making this kind of conform to the contour of that cross member that's underneath. Anyway, I eventually kind of got it worked in there. This is the worst right here. It kind of bubbled on me. Yeah, everything else went good. Where I'm at now, though, is I'm trying to get the back sections lined up, and I'll just grab the panel here, and floor panel, and I'll show you. Okay, so you can see I have the jack underneath here, and the reason for that is this hump section here was sagging down quite a bit. So when I took this panel and dropped it in where it should be, and I still think there's a bit of work to be done here, obviously, to get this lined up, but this was sagging way down and there was quite a steep angle on it. So I was looking at some old photos and videos, and see, to me that still looks like too much of an angle. Anyway, I gotta work this a little bit, jack that up maybe a bit more. I'm not sure at this point. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to get this thing fitted in properly so that everything will line up. And then of course underneath, the pan needs to join up to this section here of the frame rail. So this whole thing has to get, oh sorry, real wiggly. This has to get pushed in real tight in there. You can kind of see it a little bit. Alright, so I got to work that still. Get all the gaps nice and tight everywhere. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this. That's where I'm at. So I'm going to get both sides secured in before I start welding anything. Okay, well, that project is, well, it's almost wrapped up. I still got a couple little odds and ends to take care of, but for the most part, that floor pan is in. It went in a little bit more difficult than I was expecting, actually. Like I said before, I had some issues getting it formed around that the tunnel cross member. And then the passenger side in the rear here, that gave me a real hard time getting it formed to that frame rail. I haven't finished fully welding those spots yet. I'm going to take care of that. I have to make some patches, and I got to fill in those openings where I opened up to get into the channels to sandblast. But yeah, it's I'd say that's pretty much done. Yeah, so that trick with the self-tapping screws worked really well. You could hold the panels together real nice, and then just come in and fill in all the little holes. I decided to fully weld some of this stuff. I just give it a little extra support, I figured. I need to come in with my grinder and smooth all this stuff down. And I'll probably circle back and fully weld that seam as well. I just give it a little extra rigidity. But yeah, it's in. Alright, I think that's a good enough spot to stop for this episode. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe to these videos, and we'll catch you next time. Take care, folks.